Hello, how are you doing today? It's really, really good to see you. Just to tell you a little bit about how I've been doing. Yesterday I got my new phone. I'm still recording on my old phone because I have a microphone for it. I've got the new iPhone 14 or iPhone 16 Pro Max. The iPhone 14 Pro Max is what I've got, what I've had for a while now. Just arrived yesterday. Pretty cool. The camera button seems to be lacking a few things. It probably could be used for a bit more, but it's okay. And I've just finished my coffee. It's almost 3 now. I think it's maybe just gone 3. Let's have a look. Yes, it's just past 3 in the afternoon on Wednesday, the 5th of January. Or February. Wow, the year seems to be going quite fast. Um, a while ago, I came up with a question. Because I was trying to think about how would you answer to someone who doesn't know what they want to do? Many people, they go to college. Like I've been helping people through online for a while now, and many of them are in university or they go to college and they get degrees and they don't really know why they do it, or they're doing something that they don't really want to do. Even myself, I went to vocational college and I studied plumbing. After I left college, never did anything in my life before. So not knowing what you want to do seems to be something that I've struggled with, and I think other people have struggled with as well. So the question I want to ask you is, what would you do? No. What could you not be paid not to do? That question is, it takes a little bit of thinking to kind of grasp what it's kind of trying to get at. But I think it really hits the point of what people generally should do with their life. And at some point in this video, I'll talk about a few examples of this that inspire me. And I think if you were to ask them if you could go back, receive all the money that you've ever received and ever will receive, but you couldn't do the thing that you're doing, you're not allowed to do it, would you take that deal? You'll still get all the money, but you can't do these things that are connected to who you are. Most likely the answer would be no. And you think about it. Maybe someone who had, could really use the money, like let's say Cristiano Ronaldo, as I understand it, he was brought up in Portugal and he wasn't very wealthy, but he loved playing football, and he knew that eventually this could work out, and he did it for free for a long time. He played every weekend, and he invested what small money he had, what money he would get, what money he would work to, so he could get the things he could do to do what he needed to do. And he put in more time, more effort to get to where he is now. And he's so wealthy, so influential that, I think this is true, but I think it's Bugatti, the luxury super fast supercar company. Whenever they come up with a new model, they call him to see if he wants one. And of course they don't give it away, he just buys it. And the answer, I don't know if it's often yes, but I'm sure he's got quite a few of them. So if you could go back in time to when he was a kid, and he's probably, his name, everything he is worth in the tens, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars. So let's put the $100 billion question to him. Young 16-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo, we are going to pay you $100 million right here, right now. You will never have to work again. All your friends, all your family, you can take them out of poverty, all of them, like that. We're going to give you all the money you need to do that. But you can never touch a football, go to a football game, wear any gear to do with football. You have to not touch mentally, emotionally, physically, or in any way football for the rest of your life. would you take that deal? And in some small part of me thinks there is a part of him that would say yes to this. But I'm more inclined to think that it would be no, because he would have to give up something he loves so much, that is a part of who he is, something that he's practiced for a long time, something that he's drawn to, and he's never allowed to touch it again. There's probably no money in the universe that you could pay someone like him to do that. And there's so many examples of this. Personally, my favorite is Casey Neistat, the YouTuber, vlogger, the filmmaker. It seems that he had a really awful start to life, as many people who've made their money do. And he wanted to make movies, didn't really know how. Actually, apparently, from what I've heard of him, when he was 16, he got his 20-something-year-old girlfriend pregnant. And because he was a cool guy, that's why she was with him. And then when he couldn't provide, the curtain was lifted. He had nothing really to offer. And so she left him. And, for better, for worse, that's, I think, what happened. Around the age of 19, in the late 90s, I think it was, he visited with his son, of a few years old, he went to New York to visit his brother. I think his brother's name is Vance. I think Vance has got a YouTube channel as well. Actually, I checked the other day, he does have a YouTube channel, and he has a Patreon, and I think, if I'm right, at the time of recording, he's earning through Patreon like $10,000 a month, this guy who's the brother of Casey Neistat, who makes his own movies. But let's focus on Casey for a minute. And he borrowed his brother's, I think, if I'm right, borrowed his brother's camera and his, Mac computer. I don't know which one it was. With those two things, he made a video of his son and the family around the New York Zoo, one of the zoos. I don't know about anything about New York. And decided, I really like this. I would do this for free. I just enjoy it. So apparently he arrived back to where he was. He left his son with his mother. I think she had custody of him. And he decided to, I think either he had or he went and got 2 credit cards, maxed them both out, getting a computer and a camera, and then he just moved to New York and got to work. And, it's a very precarious situation, really precarious for such a young person. And he made these brilliant videos, even before YouTube was a thing. His first big hit was, it was a recording of him speaking to an Apple assistant, someone, because he had a problem with his iPod's battery life. After 18 months, it wasn't working anymore. He couldn't listen to anything because the battery wouldn't work. And essentially, he was told that he could send it in and get it repaired, but at the price, you may as well just get a new one. So you may as well pay a little bit extra and get a new iPod. And so he went around New York stating the fact, spraying on walls, that the iPod's battery, your iPhone's irreplaceable battery only lasts 18 months, something like that. And that video, before YouTube, got like between 4 and 10 million views before YouTube came into things. So just to put that into perspective, individuals had to email that to each other, and it became such a viral sensation through the internet that people had sent it, and obviously the majority of people wouldn't have opened it, wouldn't have clicked the link, but 4 to 10 million people got the video, saw it, and were like, blimey, that's a really good video, that's really good information. And after a number of months, I'm given to understand that Apple changed their standards on that. A little bit later on, he made another video. He was cycling everywhere. I think he was doing some courier service. He was taking packages from one part of New York to others. I believe that. That may not be true, but he was using his bike an awful lot. And he got stopped by the police because he wasn't in the bike lane. One of his most popular videos on his channel today is bike lanes, which is, you can go check out. It's an amazing video, incredible video. It's him being stopped by the police, being fined $50, and then he is cycling only in the bike lane, no matter what obstruction there is. And what ends up happening after 6 months, again, roughly similar with Apple, New York changed their laws. And apparently New York claimed that it had nothing to do, or the state of New York said it had nothing to do with that video, that had no basis on their decision making. But it seems a little bit strange that both things happen afterward. Both Apple and New York, the state of New York, decided it was nothing to do with the video, but people complained about it, and it got millions of views. Later on, still, he made another video, and so actually no, I think if I'm right, because of this, and a few other projects he'd done, I listened to this through he did a talk where he shared his experience, and I think he said that he was paid by Nike to do 3 commercials for him, where he would be paid $250,000 for the production of each. And he apparently he made a video. It wasn't Just Do It, which is their brand, right? It's Make It Count. That's what it's called. If you go on his channel, one of his most viewed videos is Make It Count, and where he describes that he was given this $250,000 put into his bank, and he decided to travel around the world until the money ran out. And he overlays his activities doing these cool things for 9 days. It takes him 9 days to go around the world and spend this money, which is like bonkers. Most people take years to earn that. Most people who have that in a year, struggle to, they spend it over the year to get that money all at once, to spend it all at once in 9 days. Bonkers. The funny thing was, if you look throughout that entire video, he only has 2 parts where he has Nike branding in it, or 3 parts. Right at the beginning, when he opens the product. The second part is when he runs out of his house wearing Nike shoes, and then when he runs back to his home wearing Nike shoes. So he went around the whole world without any Nike apparel, videoing himself doing cool stuff, which is bonkers, crazy, absolutely crazy. And then later on, still, I think in 2013, 2014, he started the brand, the social network company Beame, and after 2 or 3 years, this startup he sold for $25 million. And in another interview, he talks about, so YouTube at the beginning, so he had all these videos, tons of them. Some of them did well, some of them not so well. Vlog style videos that were recorded on ancient technology as to now. And he said, YouTube started the partnership program. There used to be advertising on YouTube, but it was through other people. And then a lot of people got screwed over. And he put all these videos out for free. He didn't intend to earn money. There was never any idea of earning money behind it. So he just did it. He did it for free. He did it for free. And then when the partnership program came along, he turned the on button to allow YouTube itself to partner with him, where he would earn 55% of people advertising on his video, and YouTube would make 45%. Oh, whichever way around it is. I forget exactly the numbers. I'm sure there's some way around it. Whichever way it is. And he said, I think it was the first month he made like $6,000, $6,000. It's like, now I don't have to do whatever job I'm doing to support this. I earned money. The next month, 8,000. Next month, 10,000. And every month after, it kept getting better. And then he did his daily vlogs, right? He did daily vlogging for I think it was 2 years or whatever it was. Pretty darn cool. It all started because he wanted to give it away for free. You couldn't have paid him not to make videos. He wanted to do it anyway. Obviously, getting paid is great. But when you give something away for free, and then you get good at it, people start paying. Ed Sheeran is another great example of this. He was a talented musician from the get-go, right? As in, he may have had talent or it may have been practice. I think he was born into a family that had musicians in it. So he had a good start with this, but he wasn't earning the money. The family didn't have the money just to give him. If I'm right, in 1 year, he busked and performed 320 something times in a year. So for context, 365 days in a year to perform over 300, that's a hard work. And he just kept going. He just kept doing it. And now, I'm not sure if it's surpassed, but on Spotify and YouTube, he had one of the most listened to songs ever. You know, I think Shape of You is one of them. Thinking Out Loud is used at every single wedding ceremony. It's crazy. But first he was giving it away for free. So what could you not be paid not to do? What would you do for free? What would you give away? What would you do to pay to support something, to actually invest money into? I'm currently, for me right now, so I have some classes where I help people with English and I help people with some other issues. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to help people for the rest of my life. I like giving advice. I like doing research on psychology, on self-improvement. That's what I want to do. That's my thing. I would give it away for free. And that's what I want to do here. I want to give what I know away for free. Because what I know has helped me stabilize, has helped me understand, has helped me be less susceptible to emotional bouts of depression and anxiety. And as a consequence, just as a thing, I've also found that I don't really get the lows of depression, but I also don't get the highs. But I get this kind of stability in emotion. My emotions aren't like that up and down anymore. It's kind of cool. It's a bit sad that I don't get the highs, but it's amazing I don't get the lows. Actually, just yesterday, with the information that I've learned and I've found, I had I actually cried yesterday. I won't say what for, because it's not that it doesn't need to be shared. But I was able to use what I know accurately. And within 5 minutes of starting this, I was able to get back to work. I took a short toilet break and I just had my little moment. I considered what I need to consider. I listened to what I was saying. I then answered it accurately, and then I was able to move forward. I didn't allow myself to stay in depression. I've worked out through research and learning to get back up to this median state. And that's what I want to help people to do. And that's what I hope that I'm doing here in videos like this. And another thing to add to this is that people work things out at different times. Some people get it really early. Like we said, Casey Neistat, he was like 19 when he worked this out. I've worked this out now that I'm 29, so about 10 years too late from him. But those of you who are 50, 60, 70, if you're watching this, it doesn't matter how young you are or how old you are. Joan of Arc went to war at 16. She picked up weaponry for the first time at 16 years old. She commanded an army at 17 and was put to death at 19. And it was her death that helped bring an end to the 100 Years' War. Richard the Lionheart, the King of England, who fought in the same war, I think a bit earlier than Joan of Arc, I think. He was 16 when he commanded an army. Now, just because you are too young and people consider you too young doesn't mean that you can't do something. Doesn't mean that you're incapable. It just means that people around you are judging your youth. So you can do it. Whatever it is that you do, it's fine. Find a way to do it. Whatever it is that you want to do, what makes you feel good, what gives you and your soul peace? What gives you that stability? For some people it's knitting, for some people it's making videos, for some people it's making coffee. And they find ways to turn it into helping people for free. And then eventually they get to a place where they can, get paid for it. Like when I first joined TikTok, there was this short-haired, I think she had dark red hair, I forget what her name is. But she made coffee content, like videos to do with coffee, because she loved being a barista. And she made coffee, and now she's got a coffee brand. And she sells that, and she gets hundreds of thousands and millions of views. Last time I checked, it was a while ago when I checked it. But she was making this stuff on TikTok from her phone for free, because that's, she wanted to communicate something, the joy of coffee. Let's take it to older people. If you've seen the movie The Founder, Ray Kroc was in his 50s when he found McDonald's. He had been a failure up until that point, and I do that in quotes because what really is success? What really is a failure? He'd been a failure for most of his life, and then he found something, and it was, I believe in this thing. For even older, apparently Colonel Sanders of KFC, he started in his 60s with the business model of KFC. Now it's the biggest chicken chain restaurant, and other brands follow them. Other small-time brands, they have 3 letters in their name because they know it works for him. And I don't think he was ever CEO, but he was like the brand ambassador for it, helping with marketing, and he put it on the map. These people started later in life. They found their thing later, or they found out how to make it a thing later. They made it for free. They put themselves out there for free, and eventually they got paid for it. When you do something for free that you love, I can't guarantee that you're going to get paid, because that would be stupid. It may not work, but you will enjoy yourself. I don't know if I can make money from YouTube, but I want to help people. That's it. There's nothing else that I want. I just want people like yourself to not feel the way I did. And if I become a father and have kids, I want them to look back on me in my 2 coats that I'm wearing and 2 hats and think, yeah, maybe what it says is a bit garbage, but I love that guy. I'm so happy I'm still able to hear his voice now that he's gone. And maybe my grandkids, my great-grandkids, they will be able to see who I am, the legacy I wanted to start. Because at the end of the day, money isn't what matters. It may work out, it may do. And working out may not be that you get paid for it, but it may be that you enjoy life. So go get a job that will support you in the thing that you love. And if you can get a job in the thing that you love, thank God that you have that. And enjoy every second of it. Because not everyone has this. And you hear all these movie stars and multi-millionaires and people talking, like they talk as if they're normal, that they're like everyone else, earning less than they need, and they may be great for branding, but talking about it's creating problems for yourself. People use racism as a thing, like people are racist, so I can't do it, it's harder for me. I'm a woman, it's harder for me. I'm a man in some fields, it's harder for me. Who are the top brands in fashion? Women love to do fashion, but the top brands, Marc Jacobs, Tom Ford, Calvin Klein, they're men. Women, like I know a lot more women who can cook, but the best chefs, Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre, whatever his name is, and Anthony Bourdain, he died a few years ago, obviously. These are famous chefs. I don't know too many female chefs, but the greatest are these guys. As to race, you've got you've got like, you've got these famous black singers and songwriters reaching heights no white people ever did. Like it's crazy to me. It's problems are only problems when they're in your mind, and you can choose to let go of them. I'm not going to allow this thing to be an obstacle. I'm going to get over the obstacle, even if it is an obstacle. And I'm gonna be persistent because I love this. This is what I want to do. The greatest musicians, the greatest people did what they did for free, and the money came later. The receiving came later. They became such a beacon of giving that the universe was forced into giving them something. And that is why by doing something that you couldn't be paid not to do. So what are you doing right now that you couldn't give up? That could help others? If it's music, people need joy. People need to feel something. I've been to a few concerts. I've been to one concert in my life. It was a ZZ concert with my dad. I went ages ago, back in like 2016, 17, whatever it was. And that's the only concert I've ever been to. But I had the privilege of having a few friends, and we went to the corner of this right by the London Bridge, the one that goes up and down, right? And this one guy, Simeon, I think his name was, fantastic singer. I don't know if he writes songs, but oh my goodness, he could play guitar and he could sing. And when he sung, everyone stopped what they were doing and listening. People were walking past. And I remember specifically there were two couples. I think it was maybe one. It was definitely one, maybe two couples that one part of our group that stopped on the walkway to listen to my friend sing, because he created joy. And some people may have the gift, some people don't. But it doesn't matter if you've got it, if you love doing it. I want to help people do something. If you're good at writing music but you can't sing, write music. Find people who can sing it. Give it away for free. Show them that you love them. It's famously, if I'm right, I know, I don't know all the ins and outs, but people made a bet on people like Eminem. And Eminem, he's a white guy in rap, and that's been a big thing forever. It's not really a big thing really, but he, if I'm right, if I'm correct, this fact is a bit iffy in my mind, but I'll say it anyway because I think it's valuable. The song "My Name Is," which was one of the first records he put out, if I'm right, I'm sure people will put in the comments that I'm wrong. If I am wrong, it was a lot of music today is sampled. And that song is basically all sample. It's all just the same sample thing on repeat. And so, if I'm right, he earned very little to no money on that record, because all the money had to go to the actual writers of the music. I don't know all the facts on that, but and I can't even remember the name of the song or even the artist. And it's a tiny piece of the other guy's music, but the other guy wrote it, it was sampled, and it was used. And he did that knowing that he could earn nothing and it may all fall through, but it got his name out there. Hi, my name is, hi, my name is, hi, my name is Slim Shady. And people listened because it was catchy, it was cool. And then the next thing, he was able to earn good money off, better money off. And things kept rolling around for him. And he too started off rapping because he liked it and found the place where he could do it and put himself in a difficult place. Like, I don't know how accurate 8 Mile is as a movie, but if it's accurate in the kind of area and the kind of thing that he's doing, it was harder for him as a white guy to do the thing that the others were doing. Racism was working the other way. And Yeah, it worked. And now in most people's minds, he's the greatest rapper to have ever lived. That is living, at least. We'll call it that. So I think, to wrap this all up, what are you doing now that helps others or can help others that you could do for free, that you could give away? And then how could you give it away? If you're good at, there's people who are plumbers, like I did study plumbing. When I studied that, I found people online who were teaching plumbing on YouTube. And they gave it away for free. This is how you solve this problem. How do you build a house? How do you do this? How do you build a chair? What is it that you do? Do you knit? Do you sew? Do you like technology? Do you like talking about it? Some of the things that I find quite interesting is in this kind of space is with video, right? Reviewing things. It's like that's for a long time that was internet pages, magazines, and some shows on TV. And if you look at the MKBHD videos in the beginning, awful videos. And still to this day, he seems quite bland. He's neither excited nor depressed, he just kind of judges it. But he's authentic about it. And he genuinely loves these things. And the really cool thing about the kind of thing he's doing is that when you review products that people can buy because they will buy it because of your video, people are coming to your video with money to spend. And when you've got millions of views reviewing something, most people aren't going to actually buy it, they just want to watch the video. But a larger percentage are willing to spend the money. And when technology costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, people are going to pay good money to have their adverts either in your video or their adverts surrounding your video. And so he gets paid more per view than most other people on the internet. Same with car videos. Having people advertise around your video that's how they get paid, and it works on a CPM, like click, how many people, the CPM, like it's the views per thousand, the clicks per thousand, whatever it is, and then the duration of the advert that they watch, and if they click through and actually buy the thing. So this world works in a really natural way. When you are someone who gives, and you give and you give in a way that you are comfortable giving. The Bible talks about giving out of the want of your heart. If you don't want to give, don't give it. Give in a way that you feel comfortable. What are you willing to give up to people, to help others? And others will naturally feel inclined to you, naturally, because that is how the world works. I think that's one of the most important realizations that I've come to, at least. I think it's really cool. It's very, very cool. Learn to give freely and learn what you are comfortable giving. And each person is different, and each person wants to give something else. And no matter how crazy it is, no matter how stupid it is, no matter how whatever it is, people are willing to connect with you. People are looking for you. They're not looking for another Taylor Swift, another Kanye West, another Elon Musk. They're looking for you. Whoever you are, whatever it is that you do, they are looking for you. And in this world of AI and just, faceless interfaces, people more than ever want authenticity. And so maybe there's a million other people doing it, but maybe people need you. Now, wouldn't that be cool if people could connect with you? So find the thing that you couldn't be paid not to do. And I guarantee you that you will be happier giving than you ever would receiving. And in fact, those people who, those people who end up earning the millions or getting the things that they get You know, even though they get millions, they're getting way less than what they're worth. They're getting way less. But it's still millions, and that's the dray, that's the leftover, that's what the world can give it. That's what they have to give them. You know, it all comes back to the you know, the biblical comment of the rich get rich and the poor get poorer. Those who have more will be given, and those who do not have, even what they have will be taken from them. If you act as if you're rich in the thing that you have, and you are able to give freely, more will come to you. But give what you are willing to give. But give lovingly, freely, and without expecting anything back. And it will make people uncomfortable, and it will make people intrigued, and it will make people connect. So I think I'll leave it there. Right? The sun's in my eyes now. It's actually, I'm pretty much looking directly into the sun. So I'm going to go. And I think this is a very valuable thing that I've learned. And I would love it if more people knew this thing. I think it would be just the coolest thing if other people knew that why giving is such the important thing. I'm not giving because I'm going to get something, but giving because no one can give back to me. No one can give back. So anyway, the timer says it's like 36 minutes. Wow, that's pretty big. And actually, before I end the video, I wanted to thank the two people who they commented on my video, and I sent messages back, but I wanted to mention you in the video, right? So the first one was Scripture Nest. We actually had a little bit of a back and forth. And I hope that, you know, I hope you're able to make your own content if that's what you want to do. You said that, you know, you wanted to try something similar. If you feel strange behind the camera, don't be, you don't want to be in front of the camera. That's fine. Find somewhere else to do it. Find another way to give, but give freely. And the other person, I actually didn't know about this channel before, but it's Johnny Law YT. He must be, I think he's another British YouTuber. He has, you know, 58,000, almost 60,000 followers. So I felt quite blessed to have someone find my first video with such a large following and make a deep connecting comment. So thank you very much, Johnny Law YT. All right, well, I'll leave it there. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.